Okay, so had a good sleep last night. After getting back off camping, that's Pagan. He's rearing to go again. Although I must admit, he slept really well last night. He was absolutely knackered. I think this is the thing with dogs. It doesn't have to be always physical exercise. You know, just the fact of get them out, you know, to places like where we went camping, with the smells, little creatures running around, noises and everything else. You know, it stimulates the brain. I think somebody said to me once, you know, 2 minutes of a good sniff is equivalent to a 20-minute run. Get one. Which, you know, I think is quite true. And obviously you've got this new lead on him, which, you know, is quite good. It connects around my waist. And it's unlike a springy harness sort of thing, or a springy lead, which, you know, is a lot better because it gives me one hand free. You know, when I'm walking, whereas you see, you know, majority of the time I have to walk with a stick because of my balance. Pagan, over there, darling. And yeah, just seems to give you a lot more freedom. It's not uncomfortable. Works really well. He seems to like it a lot more. Like I said, there are handles on it, as you can see just there. Well, I can grab out of the handle, keep him on a short lead, or keep him on a very short lead if I needed to. But yeah, it's a good lead. Go on. So we got back yesterday, moved around lunchtime. After my son and his wife took me to Norbury Junction, which is a little pub on the canal. You get canal rides from there and everything. I mean, I used to go there as a kid quite a lot with my parents. It's nice and quiet. Get some good food there. A nice breakfast. You know, you can watch the ducks on the canal. We saw the little ducklings, bless them. And that was really nice to see. It polished off a good few days. I think, I mean, the tent's brilliant. I love my tent. But it can be a little bit awkward to get in and out of. And, you know, I particularly found that when I had to get up in the middle of the night because my blood has dropped. My alarm had gone off, luckily. And, you know, I had to get up because I needed a pedal. It's a little bit awkward because I'm not the best on my feet, you know, with the ataxia. I do struggle with balance. And, you know, in a small confined space, you know, I've got to stay sitting down. I've got to try and keep Pagan under control. Come on, come on. So he doesn't decide to leg it into the woods, which he didn't. Come on. And Yeah, I managed to control him. I mean, he was good as gold. Like I say, you know, to get up, have a piddle and put my boots on and go out for a piddle, it was a little bit awkward. Come on, good boy. Morning. Come on, good boy. So I could do with a slightly bigger tent. Not that I'm not going to use that one, because I will. It's a good tent. You know, it's got room in to get everything we needed, and yeah, it's comfy. But like I say, you know, just to do something like, if you've got to get up in the night, you know, get my boots on. It can be a little bit difficult to balance because the ataxia is not good. You know, you can be stumbling around a little bit. I remember I got out of the tent and I was wobbling all over the place. Fortunately, there was a tree just behind me and there's a branch coming out, and I managed to hold on to that. Well, I got my bearings sorted, got my balance going a little bit, and then, you know, try and get back, come on, try and get back in. You know, it was a little bit awkward. Alright, let's just clean you up. Sorry about this, but when you got to go, you've got to go. Can't be helped. So I had a quick look at Amazon yesterday. I've seen another one. I can't afford it at the moment. It's like £160. We get a 3000 hydrostatic head, and it can be a 3-person one, and it's got the bug netting which I need, you know, with Pagan, really, just so he knows, come on, good boy, you know, he's locked in, he can't get out. And so, come on, Pagan, come on. So I'll probably end up getting that one. Like I say, I can't afford it at the moment, but in a bit of time be able to afford it, and probably next month. A little bit tall, I mean, it's not quite as high as me, so you know, that's a good one, good boy, come on. So, you know, but it's still enough to stand up and sort of bend over, put a pair of trousers on. Admittedly, you know, this time, come on, you're wrapped up in your lead again. Come here. Let's get them off you. Don't want you growing grass, do we? Come on, here's your paw. Come here, come here. Come on. Oh, Peggy, you do get yourselves in some messes, don't you? Hey, come on. Keep still. There you go. There you go, darling. Keep still. There. Go on. Go on. But in that one, what I'll be able to do is put a cot bed in. You know, the X beds you get. Put one up in the screen now, which no is no good if you're hiking. You can't really carry one of them with you. But I know my hiking days are over, really, apart from short hikes, and so will be a lot better for me, you know, camps like that. Well, yeah, not doing a lot. Let's brush you off again. Grass seeds all over you. Go on. you know, just for comfort more than anything. So yeah, I'll probably get one of those. Still a teepee. Got lots of area space in it, and a sleeping area, you know, and then definitely be able to put a chair, a small table, you know, only a small camping table, you know, sort of that size. But I think, you know, that suit me well, and it is what's classed as hot tent. I used to have a log burner for my tent, but I gave that to my ex-wife because she took the big teepee, which was far too heavy to carry. Go on, come on. It's more of a glamping tent. But in all fairness, one weighs about the same, packs down small. Again, I'll put, I'll show you on screen, and I think that'll be ideal for me. So I say, you know, you go camping, you want to enjoy it. I know sometimes things are going to be a little bit challenging. That's fine, you know, I don't mind a bit of rain or wind. But, you know, to just have that bit of support for what I need. So I don't want to go out there a lot more. I know, you know, Nick was saying we want to start using it a lot more, you know, somewhere where we can go, it's free, we're welcome anytime. You know, and there are a few things around there which, come on, you know, I need us a couple of resources. So, and of course the thing is there, got a couple of outhouses, there's a toilet there, which is outdoor toilet, you know, got running water, but you know, I keep like things like an X-bed there, don't need to take it with me every time. And yeah, that'd be good. I mean, Pagan certainly enjoyed it. I think it's good for him to, you know, to get him out in these places. And, you know, as I mentioned on my video, it's really good for mental health. You know, I feel, yeah, probably a little bit tired, but rejuvenated, you know, happy. And, you know, it does Pagan good. So, yeah, I'll probably be investing in one of those. I think just, like I say, I'm not after glamping or anything. Come on this way. But just a little bit bigger. So at least I get my X-bed in there. I get Pagan in there. And be a lot more comfortable, a bit easier to use. So I think as well, you know, if you've got it, the stuff works for you and it's better for you, you know, like a slightly bigger tent. Like I say, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that tent. It's a great tent, just a little bit awkward. You know, when it come on to rain, I know Nick, I got up to my friend's house to sharpen a chainsaw blade. He's got about an hour, and it just starting to happen to rain. So, you know, I got into my tent, got Pagan in, but you know, I was sitting there. Pagan was trying to get out because, you know, it's still light. We're obviously not inside the bunk sheet, you know, instead to hear me saying, well, I can still get out, Dad, I can still run around, I can still do stuff. So I sat down, managed to get him settled down. He put his head on my leg, fell asleep. Come on. But it was like a little bit, well, I'm a bit uncomfortable. Sat on the floor, my legs stretched out. I don't move because I didn't want to wake him up. Go on, puppy. And you know, I was sitting up and I started to doze off myself. Obviously we shut the doors to the tent so the rain wouldn't come in. And that'd be a nice time, you know, if I had room to put a small seat in there. I could just sit him next to me and everybody would have been happy, comfortable. But yeah, I mean, got no complaints about the tent. Had I not had the ataxia, I'm probably 5 years younger, it'd be perfect. But you know, needs change. You have to adapt. Go on, I'm sniffing at them. You know, but things, like I say, you have to adapt a little bit to your circumstances. But yeah, we had a good time, really enjoyed it. You know, I'd say to anybody, you know, just get out and try it. So now the law has changed in terms of being able to sleep in a tent outdoors. I mean, in some ways it's a little bit questionable. You know, do they refer to wild camping? But the law changed in terms of the Begging and Vagrancy Act. So it means they could accommodate better for rough sleepers in tents, and providing, or this is the way I read it, providing the person is not causing a nuisance or distress to anybody, they're not blocking stuff or doing stuff which is a general nuisance, you can now stay out in a tent. And I think the law does sort of may mention, I'm not sure if it does, they don't always make things clear. You know, you've got to be homeless. Well, I mean, you go out, you set a tent up, sleep out. They don't know if you're homeless or not. So, you know, though they're not specifically said wild camping, it does mean now, sorry if the wind's blowing the mic a bit, but it does mean now, you know, as where before, you know, if I pitched up on this green, I'm not causing anybody any bother, distress, nuisance. Don't take some busybody to come along and simply say, oh, somebody's camping in the tent there. Neither the police or the council would come out. Come on. And would have a right to move you on. Whereas now, the police or the council have to ask, are they causing any alarm, any distress, are they being a nuisance? And if the answer's no, then both the police and the council have to say, well, there's nothing we could do, they're allowed to do that. And I know it's been slightly aimed at, you know, homeless people. I do feel sorry for them. You know, especially around supermarkets and shopping centres and stuff. But, you know, I don't see how they can redefine whether you're a wild camper or whether you're homeless. You know, I can't see how they can differentiate. So that's a law which has stood for over 200 years, and it was repealed by the government, I think, because the homeless crisis is getting worse and worse. And you know, if somebody was rough sleeping through no fault of their own, could be moved on by the police. You know, it was a bit naughty, and so they've had to review it, and it's been repealed. So, you know, yes, good thing it's going to mean you can camp in any public area. I mean, obviously you've got to use a bit of common sense with it. You know, you want to put yourself out of sight, out of mind, as much as possible, which most wild campers do. Come on. Come on. But it means you're no longer under threat of being moved. Seeing that, that's all good. It's a step in the right direction. Of course, you will get your idiots who go out there and abuse the fact, and that is a shame. Come on. But I think for wild campers in general, it's going to be a good thing. But I mean, wherever I go camping, I'm on private land, so it's private, nobody else should be there. And it does make a difference. You know, it's nothing worse than camping and you've got some idiots next to you drinking, playing loud music, you know, throwing crap everywhere. People don't want that. Now you've got these people who've watched a couple of episodes of Bear Grylls and think they know it all. Sort of people still give you food poisoning even if they use a gas barbecue. You know, they haven't got a clue. But you know, they set fire to things, don't care, walk away, leave the rubbish behind, even leave the tents behind, you know, and we don't need that. But anyway, I'd end the video there. Just a quick catch up after our day's camping, and I'll see you all again soon.